How do I keep going to scenes I don't mean to go to? Hi! Hello, everybody! Welcome. How are all of you? I hope you're doing well. If you've stepped out of bats, I hope you're all having a lovely evening. I know I started this stream early, but honestly... Ooh. Honestly, I felt like oh my god, I cannot think right now. I decided to stream earlier because honestly, I don't even think anybody knew I was planning on streaming today, even though I announced it, but you know what? It's fine. Okay. If you guys have read the title of this video, I am going to talk about some things that you should absolutely not tolerate in a relationship. And this is from my personal experience. Some of what I'll be talking about... Oh, man. Some of what I will be talking about is based on things that have happened between Lucy and I. However, not everything. I'm also going to be talking about my experiences from other past relationships. So if you guys hear something that's like out of this world or sounds out of character for Lucy, chances are I wasn't talking about him. So, want to clear the air there. I do not have a script or anything. So, this is a stream. If you guys know anything about my streams, I don't script them. These are just free-form thoughts as I go. Okay. First things first. If you are in a long-distance relationship with someone, or there's a potential for a long-distance relationship, and admittedly this is something I probably should have known better than to just roll with it. If they are offering to fly you out of state, make sure, I cannot emphasize this amount enough. Make sure you have money to take care of yourself, whether that, so I mean, and if shit goes if shit goes to worse, make sure you have enough to get away from him and fly back, or just to get out of any situations you do not feel safe in. And also learn your way around the city or suburb, wherever the hell you're going, beforehand. Learn as much about the neighborhood and the area you'll be visiting as much as you can. Which, admittedly, this is something I should have known to do, but I didn't. Also, if you can, I know this is not an available option for everybody, because it's not possible to know everyone, but if you can, make sure that you have at least one person who lives out there who you know will look out for you. This can be a friend, a family member, a friend's family member, anybody that you feel safe trusting. That one is specifically for long distance relationships, and this one I wish I thought to do, but yeah, no, that apparently honeymoon phase got in the way of clouding judgment. Speaking of which, never ever let the honeymoon phase cloud your judgment. At any point in time, you could potentially be putting yourself in danger doing so. Would not recommend doing. Ugh. And okay, this next one is something dark, and it happened like before I met Lucy, to be clear. Never consider dating or starting a relationship with someone who gets mad at you for being assaulted. This one happened to me in the past. And the thing that makes it even more shitty is, one, long story short, I was essayed in a bar. I wasn't in a bar. I wasn't R-worded. But I was very, very drunk to the point where I could not consent to anything that was happening. And I told this guy that I was talking to, we weren't dating yet, but I was talking to him, and he got mad at me for it. Like, dude, I was the one who was assaulted, not to mention we weren't even a couple yet, so what the fuck? Like, huh? This one is something both Lucy and another person has done to me. How do I put this gently? Or not gently. I'm not gonna put anything gently. Never date somebody who throws you under the bus or has disrespected you publicly. Just don't. Just don't. No matter how much they insist they care about you, clearly they don't care that much to not do that. All right. Never stay or start a relationship with somebody. Next one. Never date or start a relationship with somebody. Or continue a relationship with anybody or start one. You know what? I can't think right now. With someone who crosses your boundaries. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I am talking about things that they know are boundaries. I'm not talking about accidental mess ups that anybody could make and not know that it's a boundary for you. When they break a boundary on purpose. This one, y'all know what I'm going to say because I have talked about it before. This can include things like any adult activities. This one doesn't really apply to me because I'm ace. Everybody knows, no touchy for me. But it could also imply to bring you around people you don't feel comfortable with. It could be going to places you're not comfortable being in. It could be something like, it could be like any number of things. Hey, just the guy. Welcome, welcome. How are you, my dear? Next one. Don't stay in a relationship with somebody who is like overly insecure. And I'm not talking about insecure within themselves. That one, I feel like, no, you're good. It's okay to interrupt me. And I don't like, okay, what was I saying? Yeah, don't date somebody who's insecure within the relationship. Unless you, like, I mean, honestly, if you're the one who gave them a reason to be insecure, then honestly, that's probably your fault. But in general, if they are insecure in the relationship and you have done nothing to trigger that insecurity, chances are they're gonna screw themselves over. Or you. Just don't. And the reason that I say that it's one thing, the reason I say somebody who is like overly insecure in the relationship but not overly insecure within themselves is because I feel like those are two very, very different things. I feel like you can be confident in a relationship, but not so much for in yourself in everyday life. However, don't let that confidence in your relationship turn into dependency. That can be dangerous for a number of reasons. One, it makes it easier for him to basically control and manipulate you in ways that you are not comfortable with. And honestly, it'll just make you feel worse about yourself. There's probably a number two that I'm not thinking of. I'm just listening to singing lessons stuff so I can help lay down a track for a chorus for a birthday project. Nice. I have more thoughts in my head, but they are just kind of jumbled around. So if I go mute for a moment, I'm probably just trying to gather my thoughts. Okay, this one I really, really wish I never did. If your partner is poly and you're not really comfortable with the idea of sharing and they have another partner, do not date them. Do not date them. Seriously, don't. I've made that mistake. It was such a bad idea. Like, I thought it would be fine, but honestly, it just felt like they were favoring the other person, and maybe that was my own insecurity. I don't know. But either way, I am very much monogamous, and there's nothing wrong with poly relationships. There really isn't. But if it's not something that you are comfortable with, no matter how much you like the person, do not agree to date them. You will drive yourself insane. Next one. Do not bother with anyone who makes little to no efforts to spend any time with you. I don't care if you're long distance. I don't care how busy they are. If they genuinely care about you, they will find a way to make as much time for you as possible. I'm not saying you should expect them to drop their friends. I'm not saying you should expect them to drop their hobbies. Nobody should, for anybody. However, if they're not making you a priority at all in their life, they don't care about you that much. Move on. Go catch a better fish. Or stay single. Whichever one ultimately makes you happier. Next one. Don't date a guy who accuses you of being a gold digger. Even though, let's be real here. Most guys, for that matter, this one really could go for any gender. Most people don't have gold. Yeah, I know gold diggers do exist. However, if you're legitimately worried about being with somebody who's a gold digger, why are you even wasting your fucking time with them? Like, huh? Like, why? And this next one, this one I will say applies more often to girls more than guys. Don't do more for your partner than you were willing to do for yourself. Or for that matter, don't do more for your partner than they're willing to do for themselves. Don't. That goes for favors, that goes for presents, that goes for services. It goes for anything. And listen. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing nice things for your partner. But if you're spoiling them more than they are spoiling themselves, at that point you're being used. Even if they don't think about it. And for that matter, don't spoil them more than they are spoiling you. Just don't. Just don't. I know there are guys who will like to say, "Oh, she's using me for a meal." Chances are, first of all, most women can also take themselves out to eat. That's not a big deal. I have gone out to eat by myself and had a lovely time. Heck, I can make my own. Heck, I'm good at cooking, so I mean, I know not everybody is, but like, I can make myself food too. If I don't want to pay for extra for something that I could easily make at home. And what women don't do in cash, they're first of all, most women are probably spending money on guys in other ways, but also he's probably getting spoiled in other ways. Oh, and I can't believe I was stupid enough to fall for it. Thankfully, I didn't actually end up with this guy. If a guy is roommates, quote unquote, with a woman, and he says that they're just friends or they're not dating, don't believe him. Do not believe him. Listen, I know money is tight and all, but if he says he's rooming with his friend, with this girl who is just a friend, don't believe him. He is lying. They are dating. There was this guy a couple years ago who I was friends with and considered dating. Thank God I didn't. Who told me he was just friends with his roommate. Yeah, his roommate ended up messaging me saying, yeah, this guy is a fucking liar and has cheated on me multiple times. I still feel bad for her. I mean, this happened a few years ago, so I am honestly hoping she left by now, because my God, nobody deserves that. She was also very, very sweet, so I feel like she easily could have done better. The only way that he's telling the truth about his girl roommate being just his friend is if he's gay. And if he is gay, why would he ask you out? Think about that. Like, come on now. Or if he's romantic and sex repulsed, they're always. Which again, if that were the case, why would he even ask you out? Why would dating be on the table for him? I have more thoughts, just give me a minute. Let me cook. What the? Hello, Aurora. Welcome. How are you, my dear? Oh! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This one I wanted to get off my chest, and I was literally thinking about it before I streamed, but for some reason, it slipped my mind. This one's really genderless, but I feel like guys do this more often than girls, but if somebody else has a different experience, tell me. Feel free to tell me. Don't stay with somebody who makes jokes at your expense, or who makes jokes about you abusing them. One, they're not funny. And two, they're honestly just straight up hurtful. Not to mention, if the wrong person hears that, they will take it seriously. And frankly, anybody who makes jokes at your expense like that does not care about you that much. Hi, I said what the because you typed in the YouTube chat. Oh, so my dad was here, so I said, hi, daddy. Yes, I am an adult that calls my dad daddy like a child. Why? Because I fucking can. But also, admittedly, I am a daddy's girl. My dad has always had my back ever, like, growing up. Which is why we're so close. I gotta go. Let's talk IRL. Okay. I'm just sharing like advice based off my really shitty experiences dating, in case you're wondering, Aurora, what's happening. Like, I know what I'm saying is mostly, actually everything you could say is genderless, but let's be real here. We all know that women are most likely to be targeted for bad relationships. Oh, that's what you meant. I thought it was the other thing. Admittedly, in case you were wondering about, some of the things I brought up were involving Lucy. Others were previous people that I have been with before Lucy. So if you hear something that sounds like, so if you watch the VOD and you hear something that doesn't sound like something he would do, chances are it's not something that he's done. Although most of what I bring up probably will be about him, considering he was my longest relationship. And the only person that I've been long enough with to be engaged to. I can English. You know what? I ignored this piece of advice. And I really wish I listened to it. If you're a girl, don't propose to men. I'm not saying that every guy will be, how do I word this? I'm not saying that every single guy out there will do the same thing, will, like, just not appreciate it the same way. But let me tell you all. When I proposed to Lucy, I bought him a ring that is like worth almost $4,000. Not only did he never wear it or insure the ring like I asked him to. Actually, I cared more about the insurance of him not insuring the ring than the not wearing it. But I asked him to insure it. Guess how long it took him? He never did it. And I asked him, like, I think for months, even like up to like, I think the point of a year. I think. And then when he gets me an engagement ring, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be nice about this. It was a really ugly ass engagement ring. Like, there was no fucking thought behind it. And I'm just like, really, bro? I put as much thought as I could into getting the ring into getting the right ring for you, which, by the way, cost me a shit ton of money. And you got me a really cheap, thoughtless ring, which was too small. So that ring ended up getting returned. How was your day? A little stressful, I'm not gonna lie. Mostly because I had to go out and I really, really didn't want to. Okay, I take that back. It's not that I didn't want to go out, it's just, I had to go grocery shopping. And frankly, I would rather go out to do things that I want to do as opposed to things that I have to do, if that makes any sense. At some point I need to shrink this, but I'm too lazy to worry about it. What else have I not talked about? Let's see, I talked about boundary crossing. I talked about... Oh. Okay. The next one. Y'all know the definition of insanity is, right? Doing the same thing over and over again? Expecting different results? Okay. If a guy makes a mistake, like a genuine mistake, it's okay to forgive him. It's okay. But if he repeatedly does it, cut him off. At that point, you're driving yourself nuts. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Guys like to be cute and tricky. Or at least they think what they're doing is cute. I don't know. I don't get it. And they will wait like a couple months, maybe a year, to do it again after they said they're sorry and they won't do it again. Learn to recognize that pattern. Learn to recognize that pattern, because I promise you, it will never end. He'll just change long enough for him to for you to think that it's genuine, and then go right back to the same behavior all over again. Don't fall for that shit. And then lather, rinse, repeat. Do not fall for it. This one is something I've never had to go through, but I've heard stories of other women having done it. And that is, don't do wife things for girlfriend prices. So like, don't clean his house when you're not married, or his laundry, or his dishes when y'all aren't even engaged. Again, this is not my experience. This is the experience that other women have had. Because they will take advantage of that. And if you think things will get better after you're married, from what I've been told, or from what I've heard from other women, they will only get worse. I am thankful that I've never had to deal with that. I'm thankful that my engagement's off, because dear God, paying for divorce would have been a nightmare. All right. Next thing. And this one you guys have witnessed on my streams. Never, ever, ever stay with the guy who ditches you to do errands for his family members. To be clear, I am not talking about things like helping them out with the flat tire or jump starting their car when they can't get anywhere or getting somebody to the hospital. I am not talking about emergency situations. Those are forgivable. In fact, they should be forgiven. Anybody who doesn't is just fucking insane. I am talking about minor things like liquor store trips or like getting like, I don't know, getting your cousin to their hair appointment. That's just what happens to come to mind. When they're already spending time with you, especially when they do that shit on Valentine's Day. Don't. That is your cue to exit. Because that's just him saying, I care more about making sure people don't get angry with me and my family than spending time with my own partner. Trying to play this game while watching a stream. Sorry for being less chatty. Don't be sorry. And by the way, probably should have said this at the beginning. If any of y'all want to... Oops, let me get rid of that. If any of y'all want to leave your experiences in the chat, I will happily read them. What else? Oh yeah. This one wasn't a me thing, but this is something other people have done. If your partner or if you are essentially putting all of your focus into your relationship and none of it with your family or friends, that is very, very toxic. And it doesn't really matter who's doing it. Check yourself. And honestly, hear me out. It is very important to balance the relationships you have between your friends and your partner. Especially because there's legitimately no guarantee that shit will hit the fan. And if shit does hit the fan, hear me out. The friends that you ditched for your partner will not be there. And you will be alone. So always make sure that you're maintaining both your friendship with other people, with the people around you, and in your relationship. Because otherwise, you will either end up losing your partner or you will end up losing your friends. And honestly, admittedly losing your friends is worse because they're the ones who will be there for you if shit doesn't work out. There is no guarantee that your partner will still be. And you know what? I wish I never made this mistake. If a guy dumps you, or if you dump him, and they ask for you back, say no. Do not get back with an ex. They are an ex for a reason. Whether it's your fault, his fault, or something else. Actually, if it's something else, then it really would depend on the circumstance, whether it's long distance or school. That I think there could be an exception for. But if they dump you, or if you dump them for any number of reasons, do not get back with them. Next one, which I honestly wish I learned a long time ago. Think through on if you want to date the person that you are talking to. And I say this because if you lose the relationship, you will lose the friendship. So you have to think very, very clearly if you are willing to risk that loss. I don't give a fuck how close you are. I don't give a fuck how long you've known each other before you developed feelings for them. Are you willing to risk potentially losing your best friend? Because once feelings get involved, once feelings and romance gets involved, there's no turning back. And in general, in my opinion, I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but in my opinion, it's never worth it. It's never fucking worth it. Not to mention, if they are somebody like you were really, really close with before you decided dating, if shit hits the fan, it's only gonna hurt worse. And from my experience, friendships tend to be healthier than romantic relationships anyway. Because there are no, let's see. What's the word I'm looking for? There is no catch with friends, typically. With relationships, there's always a catch. There's always give and take. Which is why I say think very, very carefully. Because you could potentially be losing somebody that you really care about. Not to mention everything else between you two changes. Give me a moment to gather my thoughts here. Oh, I was thinking about this last night. Don't trust anybody who says that they'll always be by your side and they'll never leave you. Even if they genuinely believe the words that are coming out of their mouth. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. It is a death trap. Don't believe them. Okay? Okay? I don't care how much you love somebody. You cannot guarantee forever. Because any number of things could happen. So anybody, even if they genuinely mean it, don't trust it. That is a red flag. Run. And while we're at it, do not say to, never promise somebody forever, for that matter. It's not a guarantee when he says it. It's not a guarantee when you say it. I'm specifically referring to male and female relationships because that is, for those of you, I mean, it's kind of obvious. I'm primarily attracted to guys. Yeah, I know I'm bi-gender, but that's kind of not the point here. I think typically in relationships, I'm seen more as a girl, which I honestly don't care. I was about to say something else. Don't. Okay, listen. Always communicate like what you need from your partner, because like, listen, I struggle too. I get it. But Like, obviously communication is important, but when it comes to things like mental health, and they're not willing to work with you or try to help you figure out what you need, they're not worth your time. My dad once told me there's a certain level of crazy for everybody. And if they cannot handle your level of crazy or you can't handle theirs, leave. Leave. You will end up driving yourself insane. My brain is getting so fucking distracted right now. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. All good. Thank you for being patient with me, you guys. I only have experience with 2D women. Fair enough. Fair enough. Stick to fictional characters. That's a joke. That's a joke. Obviously date if you want to. Like I said, guys, if I go quiet, it's just because I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. Like I said, something about mental health. Oh yeah. Important to talk to your partner about your mental health, but if they are not willing to understand it, or if they can't accommodate you because it's too much of a toll on them, leave. Like, listen, there's nothing wrong with being emotionally unstable. I think everybody is to a degree or so. But if they can't handle you, don't bother trying to make them be able to. It's not gonna happen. Also, never date somebody who treats your mental illness like it's a problem. And by problem, I don't mean struggle. Mental illness is absolutely a struggle. But when they treat it like a problem, get the fuck out of there. Unfortunately, mental illness is part of the package deal. You can't make it go away. So that's something they either have to learn to accept and help cope with, or they gotta go. That does not mean they should be the ones keeping your mental health in check. That is your job. Same goes for guys. It is not your partner's job to fix you. It is your partner's job to stand by your side and help you, not do everything for you. Because there is only so much another person can do. You know what they say, you can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. Squeeze me. This is probably not going to be a very long stream. I think I'll probably go for like another 10 minutes, give or take. This next one. This one is not an absolute. But if a certain person in your friend group, your family member, whoever you trust with your life, says that they don't like your partner, there's a reason. Chances are there is a reason. Trust them. Let me be clear again. There are exceptions to this. Because sometimes people get shit wrong, or they don't have your best interest at heart. But if this is somebody that you, but oftentimes, if like a girlfriend or a parent, depending on the parent, says something's off about them, believe them. Okay? Trust and believe them. Like, if you are fairly certain that your best interest at heart, believe them. I have more thoughts. Give me a minute. Keep it cooking. Okay. There are exceptions to this one. But never date a guy who says they like natural women. What they really mean is they want a Victoria's Secret looking model who doesn't have any body hair without any makeup. That is not realistic. I don't care if you are a professional model. It is not possible to look like that all hours of the day without putting in effort. Again, this is not something I've had to deal with. This is something other people do. On the other hand, if they expect you to wear makeup and you're the type who doesn't like to wear makeup for whatever reason, maybe you have sensory issues, maybe you just don't like makeup, run. The reason I'm going so quiet is I'm trying to give as much genuine advice as I can give. Okay, don't wear your heart on your sleeve. Don't pour your whole heart in the relationship and just wear it on your sleeve. You will be hyper-focused on the person that you're with. And honestly, that could lead to getting abused. Or if he's not the abusive type, it will hurt more when you get your heart broken. And listen, as somebody who is hyper romantic, and it is not something that I enjoy, I understand how hard it can be to protect your heart and not pour all of it into the relationship. I get it. But you gotta remember to be careful about that. What else? Okay. This one again has not happened to me. It has happened to other people. Do not stay or engage in a relationship where someone tries to change who you are or encourages things that are potentially self-destructive. And that could be your interest, that could be your sexuality, it could be any number of things. I have seen, again, this one has not happened to me, but I have seen so many people, particularly in a certain community, who are bisexual, and they try to convince themselves that they're straight because internalized biphobia. And if your partner feeds into, if your partner is like, not endorsing, what's the word I'm looking for? Enabling that internalized biphobia, leave. Or transphobia, leave. You cannot change your sexuality. And if your sexuality is something you are ashamed of, talk to a therapist. You should not be engaging in any relationship at that point if you can't accept yourself as you are. Especially if you're in one where they're encouraging that self-hatred. Your partner should be doing the opposite. They should be encouraging you to actually like yourself. Even if you can't manage to love yourself right away, they should at the very least be encouraging you to like yourself. What the hell is going on here? All right. Oh yeah. Never stay with somebody who doesn't put thought into like presents or something, especially if it's something like an engagement ring. Because listen, the price of presents doesn't matter. I mean, I take that back. It does matter. It matters if it fits within your budget. However, the thought behind the present makes more sense. Like, was it in your budget? Is it something that they genuinely liked? Is it something that they genuinely wanted? Is it something that and if it's something, and honestly, just don't buy your partner things like cooking utensils or vacuum cleaners for their birthday or Christmas or your anniversary or whatever. No, get them actual presents that they legitimately want. Like maybe there's a pair of earrings that they like, or certain mugs. Maybe, I don't know. My dad likes collecting mugs, or something that has their favorite band or whatever. I'm sorry, but if your partner genuinely does not know what kind of things that you like or that you might potentially want, even if they don't get the exact thing right, they should at least know something about you. Like if you want a specific present, it's okay to tell them that. But if they're trying to figure out, but if they're constantly asking, what do you want? They're basically telling you that they know nothing about you and didn't care enough to bother learning either. Oh, road rage. This one applies more often to guys, but it applies to women too. If you do not stay with somebody who is willing to yell in the car while they're with you, like, no. Especially if you're somebody like me and you have PTSD. Just don't. One, it screams I have anger issues, and two, if you do have PTSD, that'll get triggered. Like, even if the guy that you're with never physically hurts you, he will in other ways, whether that be psychologically or S-ually, eggs-ually. If you can't respect the word no, whether that be doing certain things in the bedroom, living with a roommate, trying certain things, like foods, it's a no. If they can't respect it, end it then and there. Especially if it's things like life, especially if it's life-altering decisions. Speaking of which, don't stay with somebody who makes decisions behind your fucking back without even bothering to tell you. Especially if they don't tell you on their own. That is not a small mistake that can be forgiven. That is not a small mistake that should be forgiven. No, 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 no. If they are dropping things like housing applications or getting a car that you didn't agree to. Nope. No, leave. They do not respect you enough to make decisions with you. They just don't. And they will stab you in the back in more ways. Oh, and if they're with you and they constantly talk about, if you are a person of color, especially whether you're Black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, and they talk about how much they love, you know, this group of people. I know I know that it's very common for like Asian women specifically to be fetishized. Same with, I believe it's also common with Hispanic women and mixed Black girls. Because of stereotyping, they don't like you. They don't care about you. They like the stereotypes that surround that ethnicity and see you as an object. Leave. Like, it's one thing if they want somebody who happens to be like of a certain like cultural or religious background. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about people who want to be with you because of stereotypes and fetishization. Again, not something I've experienced, but it's something that I've heard so much talk. Actually, no. I take that back. I have experienced this, and it's fucking creepy. Okay, what else? Oh yeah. If you have any older women friends, trust me on this, they're your go-to for advice in dating. Specifically, I'm not talking about pick me I'm not talking about pygmy women that'll say, oh, be your partner's peers. Do whatever you can to make them happy, no matter how stressed out you are. I'm not talking about those women. I am talking about the ones who talk about safety. I am talking about the ones who tell you, who warn you about what to look out for. I am talking about the ones that, hold on, I'm trying to think. I am talking about the ones who will give you the warning signs to look out for. I am talking about the ones who like give general advice on, you know, how to handle certain situations and if you feel unsafe, or if you're upset and you don't know how to talk to your partner about what's going on. I am talking about the ones who help you look out for yourself. Not the ones who tell you how to please your partner, the ones who tell you how to look out for yourself. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to please your partner. In fact, everybody should want that. However, when it gets to a point where you're looking out for them more than yourself, that is a problem. At the end of the day, we're all gonna die alone. That sounds very, very dark and depressing, I realize. But yeah. I think that's it for this stream. Maybe I'll do a part 2. I probably won't though, because I want this channel to be focused on what it's always been focused on: rhythm games and storytelling. I just felt like, because of recent events, this one was an important stream. Partly for myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this stream was partly for myself. But also to help out anybody else who might need it. But I think that's it for me. I hope you all have a good day or I guess a good night, because it's like 6 p.m. Blaze, hello, welcome. How are you, my dear? I'm actually about to end stream. I am so sorry. Unless there's something you want to talk about, because this is basically just a stream where I've talked about, you know, where I talk about experiences and what to avoid from my previous relationships. Plural. You're ending? No. I'm sorry. Oh. Actually, no, I do have another. Well, actually, I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, is there anything you want to bring up before I go, Blaze? Any questions? Any advice you'd like to give you? Because that I will do before I end, if there's anything you want to throw at me. Oh, I am so sorry! I don't have much to talk about besides my cat passing away. That sucks, dude! I am so sorry. I'm sorry. Losing a pet is, like, for me, anyways, it's like the most intense form of heartbreak. I am so sorry, my guy. I actually intended for the stream to start at 5:30, but I started early. So that's my bad. I'm sorry, Blaze. But thank you all so much for coming to the stream this evening. Oh, wait, there is one more thing I want to talk about. Again, this is not something I've had to deal with as, y'all know I'm not straight. But if you are dating somebody, and this one specifically goes to the girls. If you are dating a guy who is transphobic or homophobic, I promise you, he is misogynistic and racist too. Run. Run. Run like hell. But anyways, that's it from me. And I shall see you all very, very soon. Maybe I might stream tomorrow. I might pick up Honkai Star Rail, or I might play a visual novel. We shall see. We shall see. But I shall see you guys very, very soon. Have a good rest of your evening, everyone.